Good evening, and welcome to the first town hall of 2023. NABA family, we will be installing officers later in the program, but first I would like to say I'm Tiffany Harrison,
And I'm Angie Dunlap.
and we are both members of the Corporate Advisory Board, the Nominating Committee, and very proud members, lifetime members of NABA. We also would like to say we're really happy and elated to be here, and it's just a wonderful time reconnecting with all of you in the new year. I would just say, would you please make sure your phones are in silence mode for our town hall this evening?
You know, Tiffany, I was thinking about this the other night that I think it's been since 2019, actually, since I have been in person with our NABA family. So I'm very excited to be here as well. So the purpose of our town hall is the town hall meeting is to announce the election results, the installation of officers, as well as to provide organizational updates. As part of our One NABA strategy, for the very first time, we held local, national, and regional elections to provide leadership for our local roles. As members of the nominating committee, we thought it important to share with you just a little bit of the background of the nomination and election process so that you are ensured that the election process was fair and impartial. So the membership was engaged, and the membership was responsible for either nominating themselves or nominating their peers for the local, national, and regional positions. Candidates were vetted by our committee based on the role descriptions that were outlined. So not anything that we came up with, it was based on the roles that you saw that were outlined on the website. And then really at no point in time did the nominating committee decide who was going to be placed in seats or placed in any particular positions. That was really the responsibility of you as the voting members. We were also engaged with legal counsel to make sure that the process, the election process and the nomination process was fair and that it operated with the highest level of integrity. Also, while the board chair is a member of the nominating committee, Herschel was not involved in any of the vetting process as it related to the national board roles.
Okay, great. Thanks, Angela. It's also important to note in some regional and local markets, we did not have a slate of candidates. In that circumstance, therefore, we will be holding a special election and invite qualified members to nominate themselves or to have other qualified members to fill in those open roles. In the spirit of respecting the voice of our members and wanting our members to elect their own candidates, we will reopen the nomination and election process in regional and local markets within the first quarter of 2023. We would love for the membership to get engaged, and we encourage you all to run for these positions. Angie and I have been members of NABA for a very, very long time.
A very long time.
Okay, all right. And we know we're only as strong as the leaders that serve along with us. And we would like to say for all of you, this is your opportunity to get engaged. Before we go further into our program, I do want to say we are so very lucky and blessed to be here at the beautiful Amazon facility studios here in Los Angeles, California today. And I just want to take this opportunity. I know Jesse's in here, but I want to say thank you to Amazon for being a wonderful partner. And we're just so very honored to be here today. So thank you very much for that. At this time, I would like to introduce Stephen Harris. And I know Stephen really doesn't need an introduction. What do you think, Angela?
I think maybe just a little bit of introduction for Stephen.
All right. Well, many of you know Stephen is our past board chair, and he's currently our chair of our nominating committee. And he is a tireless volunteer for NABA and a very proud lifetime member of NABA. So, Stephen, I'm going to give it to you at this moment. Are you out there?
I'm here, Tiffany. And can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Awesome. I'm sorry I can't be with you guys in California. I bet the weather's great. I'm just surprised Jesse Rose actually came through with something and got you guys in the building and everything. So that's pretty impressive. And Jesse, that's my only shout out to you for today. But first, guys, I just want to say thank you for this great opportunity. It's been a great process serving as the nominating committee chair. Learned a lot through the process, had an opportunity to work with some amazing people, two who you just saw, very dedicated members to our organization. We're excited about the work this organization is doing to create dynamic leadership opportunities for our members, volunteer leaders play a critical role in the success of One NABA. We would like to thank our nominating committee for their service and for ensuring a fair and equitable nominations process. And I definitely want to just really emphasize that. I mean, when you think about everything that goes on in the process to move the elections from the local level up to this national rank, it was a heavy load, but I think everyone saw the value in doing so. And we want to make sure that we created a process that was going to be unique that we can build on going forward into the future. We are very excited about the people who volunteered to serve this wonderful organization. We have such an important mission to elevate the Black business leader on every step of their journey. This organization thinks globally, executes regionally, and acts locally. And I think a lot of us have our NABA roots in so many different ways where we came up from the local ranks and rose to either a regional or to a national level. So you understand and appreciate the value of that. To achieve these goals, we need great leaders in our local and regional markets, and we hope that we continue to stay engaged and nominate great leaders in the future. And speaking of great leaders, I'm pleased to announce that Herschel Frierson has been elected to serve a second term as our national board chair. So let's give Herschel a round of applause. Awesome, awesome. Before we hand it over to Herschel for remarks, I want my one of my fellow board members, Noel, to join me on the virtual stage here. Can you please come on and give an overview of the elections process? So, Noel.
Hey, Stephen, thank you for that introduction. And just like you, I wish I was in sunny California, but duty calls, and thanks to the lovely Amazon technology, I'm able to be here with you just virtually. So, hello, NABA family. As you all may know, I am the National Secretary, and that means I get the great honor of leading and chairing our governance committee. I am here to further assure you that the 2023 election process was executed with the highest level of integrity and respect for our bylaws and our membership body, of course. It was a sound and fair election process with oversight from our nominations committee led by the great Stephen Harris that you see here today. But I also want to dive into who was a part of that committee. It was diverse, different tenures, different regions, different areas of NABA, different expertise. Like I said, Stephen Harris was the chair. Herschel Frierson was a part of this committee, but excused himself from any national vetting processes. Angela Dunlap, who you've heard from already, Tiffany Harrison as well, Angel Johnson, who's a member of the board, Roots Mark, who is also a member of the board and Eastern Regional President, Crystal Martin, who's Southern Regional President and member of the board, Okori Ramsey, who's a long-term NABA member, and Ghislaine, who's our National President and CEO, is a part of the committee, but she is non-voting. We've managed the ballot process. We've had our attorneys and legal counsel involved in every step of the way, as you've heard already. Our auditors, who have the utmost integrity, they have to, based on their profession, and overseeing this has been great in ensuring this has been a fair election. We opened up the elections to the entire membership to ensure that everyone had a voice. We listened to you and we understood that this was important to our membership. So with that said, you heard Stephen announce that Herschel Frierson has recently been reelected as our board chair. So I will now turn it over to our dear and dear board chair, Mr. Herschel Frierson.
Thank you for reelecting me as your chair of the National Board. It has been such an honor and a pleasure over these past several years working toward the One NABA. But now we have the future, which is very bright. Thank you for the trust and the confidence in what we're going to do with One NABA, going to the next level. We are the premier association for Black business leaders. Let me say that again. We are the premier association for Black business leaders. We're about to go to the next level. I also want to make sure that I acknowledge a special group of individuals who has worked and supported the One NABA strategy. That is our corporate advisory board. They have supported, gave advice, and helped with our strategic direction for the national board. So for the corporate advisory board members, thank you for what you've done, what you are doing, and more importantly, what you will be doing for the One NABA. With that, let me hand it back to Stephen. But once again, thank you for the trust in me. I am excited about what the future holds for the One NABA.
All right. Thank you, Herschel. Definitely. Let's give Herschel a round of applause. So glad to have you back. I would now like to introduce the National Board and committee members. If present, please stand when I announce your names. I'm going to start with first Tasha Austin, National Board Member at Large and Strategy, Innovation, and Technology Committee Chair. Duran Dunn, National Board Treasurer and Finance Committee Chair. Kimmy Ellen, Auditing Committee Chair. Noel Bowers, National Secretary and Governance Ethics and Committee Chair. Go ahead and stand up, Noel. Go ahead and stand. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Don't do it. Right. Sherry Ann Mohan, CPA, will return as our Vice Chair and of the National Board and Chair of our Human Capital Committee. We have Angel Johnson. She'll be continuing to serve. Jason Booker. Roots Mark is going to serve as our Interim Eastern Region President. Zanae Brooks, Central Region President. Brittany Bishop, Western Region President, Crystal Martin, Southern Region President, and Jesse Rose Jr., National Board Member at Large. Let's thank these board members at this time. Y'all can have a seat if you haven't already. I will now introduce newly elected officers for the Central Region. If present, please stand. So Central Region President, Zanae Brooks, please stand. Second Vice President, Donnell Cunningham. Central Region Treasurer, Brendan Howell. And Central Region Secretary, the lovely Sydney Nelson. All right, let's give the Central Region leaders a round of applause. It's hard to do this virtually, guys. I can't hear you clapping, but that's okay. I see Noel clapping. That's enough for me. All right. I will now introduce newly elected chapter volunteer leaders. Given the number of chapter leaders being installed, we ask that you please take a few minutes to review the names of the new officers for each region as they appear on the screen. I'm going to take these moments and I'm going to introduce these leaders by region. So first, we're going to start with the Eastern Region chapter leaders. Let's give these guys a round of applause. All right, the Central Region chapter leaders. The Southern Region chapter leaders. And last but definitely not least, the Western Region chapter leaders. Awesome. Congratulations to all of you. We would also like to acknowledge that the San Diego chapter was chartered on December 28th, 2022, and the founding members are Marcus Brooks, Precious Driver, Vanessa Atwood, Aisha Abraham. So let's give these new leaders a round of applause. As we shared previously, we're holding special elections beginning the first quarter for the Eastern Region and other local markets for open roles. So if you want to get involved in that process, please, it's a great opportunity for you to throw your name in a hat, if you haven't already done so, to become a great leader in one of our chapters or in our Eastern Region. The nominating committee will actively engage in the governance process for the special election. We will introduce the new leaders to you during our next town hall in April. And at this time, I will turn it over to Noel to install our 2023 chapter officers.
Thank you, Stephen. You tried to set me up and get me to stand up, but that's okay. I still love you. All right. So for all our leaders, whether you're in the room or you're virtual, we'll ask that you please stand and prepare to recite the officer oath that will be posted on the screen. Remember, as you say this oath, that you are acknowledging your responsibility as a leader of this organization, and you're making a promise to all of us and yourself to honor this oath. Okay. I won't say it. I'll let you say it just in case there's a delay, but I'll count down. So 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, everyone. By the authority vested in me by the board of directors, I now proclaim you duly installed as an officer of NABA Inc., whether it's a local, regional, or national role. I congratulate you on your election, and you may be seated.
Noel, sounds like they got married. Like by the authority vested in you.
I now knight you.
Right. To be honest, your engagement in NABA should be like a marriage because you're taking on a very important role. So don't take it lightly. It's an honor to serve in this great organization. The more you put into the organization, the more you get out of it. And I tell you, it's nothing like serving the people who you come to love and grow with. And then you'll look back on this as hopefully one of the greatest experiences in your career. So congratulations.
Congratulations. So I do want to announce one other critical leadership role. Ralph Thomas, who we all know and love dearly, will serve as the inaugural board chair for the NABA Inc. Foundation. Ralph wears many hats. He also sits on our corporate advisory board. So thank you, Ralph, for your continued service and expanding your leadership role as a part of our foundation. So congratulations again to this dynamic group of leaders, those who have rose to the occasion and will continue to do great things in our organization. We will now hear from our lovely president and CEO, Ghislaine St. Juste, who will share the exciting opportunities coming up this spring and summer.
Thank you so much. It has been, I would tell you, to both Noel and Stephen, what an honor it has been to go through that process under their oversight. I describe them both as tough, smart, and kind. And all three can be true at the same time. And to say that there's been such an oversight to make sure that we honored a process to both the letter and the spirit of the bylaws, and to make sure that we navigated this next phase of our transition in a way that respects both, again, the letter and the spirit of our bylaws is been truly inspiring. And so I am just even more committed to serving as your president and CEO. So as Sherry Ann said today when we had our board and cab workout, if you're happy with me, thank Sherry Ann and Roots and Ray Price. If you've got complaints, see Herschel Frierson. Look, NABA family, my role here is to wrap up this portion of our program and to give you a little bit of what's coming. First, our convention. I will tell you that we are preparing for quite a convention for you. Last year, we achieved 2,700 people. This year, we're targeting for 4,000 people. And I am so proud to tell you that Deloitte has committed to $1 million for the title sponsorship of the NABA convention. Amazing. And we got word yesterday that Accenture is coming in as the executive sponsor of our executive track at $550,000. And Karen assures me that I have set a goal of $10 million for the convention this year. And she said to me, Kim, our CRO, which I'll introduce the team in a few seconds, told me we're gonna crush this. So if I were you, because I know there were a lot of conversation last year about hotels being booked and people not being able to be in the hotels they wanted to. So when this link opens up at the end of the month, if I were you, I'd go reserve my room with a swiftness, okay? This year, we had made a commitment to coming back to regional conferences. I know that is a big part of what NABA does and NABA is. Notice I didn't say regional student conferences, because we have to engage with regions beyond students to academic advisors and local officials to continue to move our mission forward. But I am proud to announce that this year we're going to have 2 regional conferences, one in Indianapolis and one in Austin. And the goal is, Suzanne is going to kill me because she hadn't committed to this, but that we will continue to get back to an area where we get to full service student conference. How did I do, Suzanne? I didn't. Awesome. There you go. When Suzanne gives me an awesome, that's like a double awesome. And so I wanted to make sure that you all were aware of that. The other point that I wanted to share with you is that I have the privilege to often be in front of the mic. But the reality is we have an awesome team that is behind the scene making things happen. I am absolutely most grateful for the senior leadership of this organization. So let me just introduce them very quickly. They'll say hello, and then for those of you who are in the room with us, just sit still because you'll get to meet them a little bit more. But to our Chief Strategist, Catherine Foka, to our Chief Revenue Officer, Kim Williams, to our Chief Impact and Strategic Partnerships, Talika Brooks, to our Senior Vice President of Finance and Operations, Sean McGee, to our Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Toy Eshun, to whom we owe this beautiful production in partnership with the Amazon team. And last but not least, NABA now also has a Chief Technology Officer, Mars Regoza, who's standing over there, who's building the infrastructure. And then we should give Kim Wilson a standing ovation for pulling all of this for us. So let's give Kim a standing ovation. That woman, I will tell you, Kim worked around the holidays to be able to pull all of this together. So Kim, thank you very much. And last but not least, I call her we're nemesis or partners in good, depending on the day. We're both October people, and it's a long story. But the head of program, RSVP of program implementation and design, Suzanne Brown. So, and then I'm going to ask anybody that's part of the NABA team to stand up, because you know what? Now there's so many NABA team members that I can't give you the whole list, and that's something. NABA now has 30 employees. Go figure, who knew that? So can I ask everybody that is a member of Team NABA to stand up and be acknowledged? So to Alex and Karen and Erica and all of you, I would tell you, I have special love in my heart for my Deanna Stengo. Some days she's Deanna, some days she's Dee Dee, and sometimes she's just D. So who keeps me running and putting me in all the places that I need to show up, and then to my dear EC Ishun, who makes sure that I show up where I'm supposed to show up at every one of these events. I am so deeply grateful. Again, I get to be in front of the microphone, but you all know you are the engine that makes this whole boat move forward. Again, thanks to the board, the advisory board, you all absolutely rock in my book. I learned because of you. And in the almost 2 years that I've served this organization, I've gotten to be, as I talk about, always becoming a leader that others want to follow. This is in no small part because of each of you. You push me, you challenge me, you make me think about things differently, but one thing I know for sure, you always have my back. And for that, I thank you deeply. I also want to follow on your town hall. For those of you who are joining us virtually and for those who are in the room, just know that there is going to be a link with a Q&A, which will remain open until Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is an opportunity for any and all of you who have questions to drop them in the link. And as we always do, the team will compile them, as you've seen us do, sort them by theme, and we will push back the answers back to you when we publish our next newsletters, which will be in mid-February. Note that I am also learning. I don't give you dates. You know why? When I say mid-February, if I deliver it on the 16th of February, I look like a rock star. If I tell you February 15th and I deliver it on the 16th, that's a problem, right? It violates our framework of trust of being consistent. And so, but it'll be by mid-February that you will have not only the link to this town hall, you will have, the answers to your question as best as we can answer them. And then, the next newsletter with some of the announcement that I have just shared with you, hopefully we'll be able to announce even more corporate partners that have signed up to be at the convention and start to give you like the link for the signing up and all of that. That will be there for you. Okay. Too bad for those of you who couldn't join us in person, because we're about to have a party. Everybody thinks it's lovely in LA, but the rain is back. So we were going to have an outside party. And now my dear Lori and LaTanya told me that the party is going to be inside. And so I do want to also extend great thanks to, Leonard, who's taking headshots. So if any of you want to take a headshot, make sure you see Leonard tomorrow. And then can I ask you all to stand up and give this amazing Amazon team like a round of applause? I mean, they have been... I would tell you, we have companies host us, right? And you all know I'm gonna say this, I'm biased because CLA is my family and you all host me permanently. But you know what, the experience that we've had with the Amazon team over the past few days, and I know will continue, has been nothing short of extraordinary. They've been kind, they've been supportive. They repeated the same thing to me 50 different times, including, please do not wear a dress because we need to mic you up. I just really want to extend my gratitude. And to you, Jesse, I know that, we keep taking shots at you, but we love you, you know that. And so, we love you, you know that. And thank you for your incredible service to this organization as its treasurer. You've navigated with us during like the most turbulent of times of our transformation. And guess what? Mars is about to laugh because he knows I think of everything in a song and I can't sing, so I won't sing for you. I'm still standing. That song? Okay. So for those of you who joined us virtually, thank you. This concludes officially the town hall. I'm going to ask those of you who are in the room to stay with me for a little bit. There is a party. There will be a bit of like a little libation here and there, but I just need to officially close the town hall so that the folks from Amazon can just like finish the line, and then I'd like to talk to you all for a few more minutes. Is that fair? Thank you. Thank you, those of you who joined us. We wish you an excellent rest of your week. Happy today. I think today's Thursday. Okay, so today is Friday Eve. So I wish you all a great Friday Eve evening. That was a tongue twister. So thank you, everyone. I can lead, but I can follow, okay? And I follow, when you give me my marching orders, I can do what I'm told to do or ask or voluntold. So I want to talk first to our chapter leaders that have just been newly elected. If you think about the framework of our strategy, we had 4 external vertical and then 4 internal horizontals. You might recall them. The 4 external verticals were platform, partnership, program, and point of view. The 4 internal horizontals were operation excellence, talent, leadership, and NABA Nation. The leadership and NABA Nation were intentionally placed one after the other because there is no NABA Nation without chapter leaders. It doesn't happen. That's why you heard Stephen say this, and I want to continue to reiterate this. We need, from a competitive advantage, to be an organization that thinks globally. The issues of inequity in professional services in the United States is not just a United States issue. In addition to that, our partners who fund our mission are not focused only on domestic issues. They are focused on international issues. What is happening in Ukraine, in China, and everywhere else in the world, right? And the strength of the dollars, or not, the weakness or the strength of the dollars, allows people like Accenture and EY and Amazon and RSM and everybody else, CLA, B of A, to decide the level of investment that they will do in this organization. And you know what? I am unapologetic about saying no dollar, no mission. You cannot fuel the growth of an organization without the right resources. However, the magic of NABA happens at the local chapter. That is where our members engage. That is where the mentoring and the nurturing of our college chapters happen. This is where we have an opportunity like nowhere else that I have seen to raise local issues that bubble up. You know, it's sort of like it's a local, national, international, back international. It's a synchronous movement that allows us to move the needle. I think if an organization, an institution is going to move the needle, I will take a bet on NABA. That's why I'm here. And that means I will take a bet on you. Lead with us. Talk to us. We are not an us against them or them against us. It's all of us together. And there is a reason we said that we do not lead by consensus, but we lead by alignment. Because the fourth tenet of our trust framework is expertise. Is that experts have particular skills, therefore their guidance should be heeded. I am not an expert in San Diego market. I love San Diego. You can invite me any day, anytime to come hang out with you. I will be, for sure. But I have no idea how that market works. So you ought to inform us and tell us what you need, and our job is to help you garner what you need to do what you want to do. And I, as your CEO, us as your, senior leadership team, as your board, as your corporate, advisor, also have a responsibility and an accountability to make sure that the collection of these pieces deliver on a mission, a vision, a theory of change by outcomes that can be measured so we can say, here is how we're moving the needle. That's how we lead together. That's how we are in this together. As I have been thinking, I think you all know this, I don't impose my faith on anybody, but I make no apology for it. I'm a woman who prays. And I thought about this a lot. And one of the voices that has been deeply in my head that I see as the single opportunity that will cause us to rise to heights where we would be setting the standard for others or cause us to crash is what John Lewis talked about. No, it is not about getting good trouble, because I'm in that all the time. Whether you know it or not, at your service, I get in a lot of good trouble, but that's okay. It is the idea that we have to organize and mobilize. We must organize and mobilize. Martin Luther King has a day where we celebrate him. But he was successful because of institutions. And if you think about the collectivity of institution, an institution in particular that we must talk about is the role that the black churches played in the civil rights movement. You cannot achieve progress outside of institutions. And to build institution, to organize, to mobilize, we must learn to trust each other. We must move forward together. That is my hope. This has been my prayer. This has been my aspiration. As your CEO, I have been reflecting on the time that we're going to be spending over the next few days. Ask questions. Inquire all day long. And trust and believe that there is not a single person in this organization that wants to hurt the organization and wants to hurt any single person. And when you hear about the progresses that we've made together, not because, but despite, I will tell you, I hope you walk on out of here on Saturday with your head held high and with a bit of swagger in your step. And that you get back to your market and tell people, if you've not signed up to become a chapter leader, name whatever role, you're missing out. Thank you for choosing to be here. I'm going to say it again. Thank you for choosing to be here, because you don't have to be here. You do, because you had to put up with me for the past few days. But you don't have to be here. To our cabinet board, you all heard me say this today. I grew up in financial services. So what happened is no matter what I did, I got paid anyway. It was a beautiful thing. But you know, in professional services, I know the two favorite words is billable hours. And so for all the time that you spent here, that means I've had my hand in your pocket. I hope it was worth your time. I hope you learn. I hope we've stretched your imagination, and for nothing else, I hope you're super excited about what we are contributing to do together. So I know you said, Zane said, it's a machine. I said, well, since CLA already took the bike and I'm part of the CLA family, I said, we're in a moped zone. We have a moped, but for sure we're building a machine. But the machine cannot be built without all of us together, all of us playing our part, all of us trusting each other, and all of us committing that the whole must be bigger than the sum of its part. And that's how we build. That's how we path. That's how we pave a more just world. And that's how, in the history of this country, think about this, that for all the monies that have been spent, and we've not even moved the needle in equity, that people will recognize that we have made progress because of a Black-founded, diversely led, at the service of Black people organization. And you know what? If I did not believe that we could, if I did not believe that we should, if I did not believe that we will, I would not choose to be here with you. I'm inspired by your commitment. I'm inspired by your leadership. Take lots of notes. Have lots of fun. You had a sample of what we do with each other. We poke each other. We poke fun at each other. We laugh at each other. Yes, sometimes we laugh at each other. Sometimes we laugh with each other, but sometimes we laugh at each other, and that's okay too. But at the end of the day, let's go do something so extraordinary as to build a Black institution and ignite a movement. It is the honor of my career to serve as your president and CEO, and I know we are just getting started. With that, I'm going to bring Kim Wilson, who has some directions for us on how the rest of the evenings is going to flow. Kim?
Happy Thursday. Oh, happy Friday. How's everyone doing? Well, welcome, welcome. I just want, first of all, thank you, many of you all. You got on those shuttles on time. So I have to give you a friendly reminder from our meeting planners. Tomorrow morning, we need everyone, and I'm looking at everyone because we'll all be taking the shuttles over together tomorrow morning. We need everyone to be in the lobby of the LAX Marriott at 6:45 a.m. because shuttles will be departing at 7 a.m. Now, don't come down at 7 because, and you all know, it could be a 45-minute ride, maybe a 20-minute ride. But if you miss the shuttle, you will be taking an Uber. So what time are you meeting in the lobby? All right, thank you, thank you. Also, many of you have badges. Treat the badge, I know it's a retreat, but treat it like conference, like you paid $8.95. Okay? All right? So please don't forget your badges in the morning. If for some reason you think, nah, I'm gonna forget, you can give it to us and we'll give it back to you in the morning. How's that? So it's your choice, but please have your badges. And it's very important because we are guests at Amazon. As you see, we have the security badges, so please don't forget your government-issued ID. Now, I've had the pleasure of meeting many of you via email, and boy, have you all blown up my texts. I told Guylaine I need another phone. But it's been exciting because some I do know, some I don't. And we're going to give you an opportunity to meet and greet with one another. So we have this fun little exercise. And thanks to my dream team over here, Suzanne and Alex, they're going to give you this sheet. It's like a bingo sheet. And you got to put the names. You got to find someone in this block. Everybody's like, oh, yeah. You're going to have to get up when we go out and mingle because they are setting up the meal. We ended early, and we did have to transition the dinner indoors. So this gives everybody a chance to fill out this form. Now, the first person who fills it out, let us know, but there are still prizes to be won. When you complete the form, if you could give it to Suzanne, Alex, or myself. You put the names under, whoever you meet, put their name under the box. Wait a minute, Amadra, 1 second. So you see this sheet? You'll put the name. So I'm going to give you a free one already, right? Everybody, even the board members, even the CAB members, even the staff. So I'm going to give you a free one, but you got to go meet this person, okay? But I know Sydney Nelson is a lifetime member. Sydney, stand up so everybody can meet you. But there are other lifetime members. But we want you to make sure you meet one another. Don't just mix and mingle with your chapter leaders in your region. So wait a minute, we're not starting yet. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You got to get up when we're going to get moving, okay? We're going to move into the other room. But the other thing we're very excited about, where's Leonard? Is Leonard, everyone? I don't know how many had a chance to see Leonard at convention, but when you find a great photographer, and thanks, Toy, for introducing us to Leonard, you take him with you. One of the things that that was exciting is that he took headshots, and he can do miracles with those headshots. And people know you can pay maybe $300 for a headshot. Now, I'm not going to take away from anybody who submitted their applications, but there's an opportunity for some of you all to get some new headshots. So, you all are chapter leaders, regional and national leaders. So, we have it set up where you can sign up. He will be taking headshots all day tomorrow. There is a schedule at the desk, but again, we're trying to get all of you the photos in place tomorrow. So make sure, and even tonight, you can do some tonight. So don't be shy. We've seen miracles done with these headshots. So he makes you look good. So have fun with that, and have fun meeting and greeting one another, and let's enjoy this retreat, because it's about one NABA. I'm excited. I'm like, oh, look at everyone. So we're going to move into the cafe area. Now, I do want to remind everyone, because I got some interesting text messages, emails. Yes, we're on Amazon's Studios property, and they like to host things outdoors. They have a beautiful facility. So tonight's dinner was supposed to be outdoor with heating lamps, because how many of you have sent me those messages? But tomorrow lunch will be outdoors. So I just want you to bring the appropriate jackets, wraps, etc., so you can be comfortable for our meals, okay? Everyone have a good time this evening. And what time am I going to see you in the lobby? Okay, thank you. All right, everyone.